All right, welcome to the Muscle Maturity Podcast. We're on episode number 64. I'm John Hansen. I'm here with my co-host and friend Samir Bannout, 1983 Mr. Olympia. How you doing, Samir?
Doing good. Nice to see you.
Got you.
Every Tuesday here, we're like on standby. Check
That's right.
check things out on you. All good, all good. Are you getting ready for the holiday?
Yeah, I'm going out to Chicago this weekend to celebrate with my family. I'm going out 1 week early so I can avoid that crazy holiday rush next week.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's cool.
Yeah, I think next week's going to be crazy with travel and stuff.
Yeah, I'm making a plan right now for the new year. Christmas is here, New Year somewhere else. I'll tell you later. So,
Okay.
but been training again, thank God. And right after the Olympia, remember I told you I was like getting like up and down, up and down. Something that was lingering. There's something I didn't feel myself for a while. So now I'm
Mm-hmm.
back in full training, and thank God things
Good.
are a lot better.
Yeah,
You
awesome.
always This is the worst time of the year to get present from people, so you got to be ultra careful.
Right, right.
Yep, yep. So, how's
This is
your
the time of
training
the year
going,
when
John?
everybody, it's going good. Going good. Training hard, so I'm just having problems. My hips still bother me. Been bothering me for about 6 months. I was trying to do legs last night. I couldn't even do them.
Well, don't
I
go
don't know what it is.
crazy. Frank Zane gave me that
No, I couldn't.
message, and I'm going to give you the same message. Don't go beyond the boundary. I say sometimes I see. I love your willpower and drive, but sometimes we don't know where to stop, John. I know that. It's a habit that we developed
Right.
over the years. But if you could
I
do
know.
350, don't go 350, go 300 now, or go like 250, 275. You're not
Yeah,
competing. Don't go
I know.
crazy. Maybe that's
We
what
don't.
happened to
No.
your hip, squatting heavy and stuff.
Yeah, I know. I know. And we can't even see
Yeah,
legs
that's
anymore, right? Because when you wear shorts now, the shorts are so long they go all the way down to your knees, so it doesn't really matter, right? You got skinny legs, no one's going to see
yeah.
it.
I know you. I have similar mentality, John. I kept pushing myself too heavy. I go heavy. Honestly, not long ago, I was training with David and Ty. I would go 315 bend over row, still 315
Wow.
bend over row. And then people say, what the hell? Why are you doing that? And honestly, it's not good.
Right.
It is not good. I would I want to challenge David and Ty when we were training together. And so,
Yeah.
I tried to push that hard, but somehow, buddy, it's going to catch up. And, I think 200 instead of 315 or, 190 for reps and get the maximum pump, you know,
Yeah.
you gotta watch the wear and tears, bro. It's catching up right now. Once you hit over 50, it's not the same.
So you
You
tell me
you
I'm getting old.
approach
Is
it.
that what you're saying?
Are you
I'm
approaching
getting.
what, John? You're almost 60, almost,
Yeah.
right? When will you be
So
60, John?
you're saying I'm getting old now? Is that what you're saying?
We all getting old. We're getting old right this minute as we speak.
Right.
No, but yeah, I don't know many people that go extremely, extremely heavy once they reach like 55, 60. It's the body can't really
Yeah.
take it the same way. Yeah, but you
Yeah.
look
No.
good, John. Doesn't matter. Even if you near 60, it don't matter.
All right.
You're taking good care of yourself anyway. So what's new is in the world of bodybuilding, John?
Well, we got more questions this week, so we'll get to those in a minute. Um, they had the NPC Nationals last weekend in December,
Mhm.
so that was the biggest show of the amateur season, at least, was in December last weekend. So this kid here, Anton, he's only 19 years old and he won the classic physique overall division. So he got his pro card. He won the overall. 19. He looks amazing, doesn't he, Smer?
Oh yeah, I love this kind of body. This is the kind of body I really always talk about. Look at that small waist, good sweep, separation, and he can pose. This kid have a great
Yeah,
future. He's 19, huh? 19 years old. Wow.
19. Yeah.
Remind me, remind me of Samir kind of.
Oh, good. Here we got his posing
Oh,
routine.
look at
He's
that
wide. He's got good
separation.
legs. Yeah,
Yeah.
got the glutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look at his glutes.
Yeah.
He's got a good structure too.
Yeah. I mean, for
Long
19
arms,
years
wide
old, he's
shoulders.
fantastic. He's not as big as Casey Viator, but he certainly have a pretty body
Right.
and have separation, and he's growing. Hopefully, he's
Yeah.
doing it the healthy way. I always talk about these things nowadays, John. It scares me when I see kids like that with a potential to be a star, and they rush into it. So hopefully,
Yeah.
he's being sane and not going overboard with different things. You know what I'm talking about. But very impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. That you brought up Casey Viator. I mean, that's people may not have heard that name before, but Casey was 19 years old when he won the Mr. America, and he was so thick and big, he blew everybody away. Remember that?
Yeah, and also
1971.
if you go back to then what Casey was doing, he wasn't really doing outrageous stuff. He was training hard. He had a
Right.
good genetic. He had good coaching. He was at the time. Casey was sane, and so I
Yeah.
hope that kid Anton is taking care of his health while doing what he's doing. So I'm impressed. Yes, very very good, but a great
Oh,
future.
there's Casey.
Look at
That's
Casey. I
Casey
mean,
when he won the Mr. America in
it.
71.
It's hard to believe that Casey was doing that on a few D-ball. People won't believe it, but
Yeah.
look at the forearms.
Right on.
Casey actually is missing nothing really, and if they knew how to get shredded like we do nowadays, it'd be even a lot more impressive. Yeah, I mean, he looks great. I mean,
Yeah.
his quality was not bad, but nowadays the kids know how to get more shredded, and
Oh yeah,
but
for sure.
the development of Casey Viator is out of this world.
Yeah.
John, when you're ripped, you tend to look even bigger. But if you see Casey, the real Casey, face to face, you will know how massive he is. He's incredibly massive. I mean, I
Yeah.
train next to him, train with him and Mike Menser. I mean, the guy, incredible,
Hmm.
really incredible. The youngest Mr. America ever, isn't he?
I know. I wish I was at that show. I wish I could have saw him at 19 beat everybody in the country. He had to be
Me
phenomenal, you
too.
know?
Me too, John. I was in Lebanon when I saw that, and I heard like teenage, a guy who was under 20
Yeah.
beat everyone. He won every body part, best legs, best arm, right? He
Yeah.
won
He won almost
almost all the
everything.
body
Right.
part.
I think
Was he
except
with
best
Arthur
abs.
Jones? Was he with Arthur Jones at the
Yeah.
time, or he did? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Arthur was working with him at the time. Yeah.
unbelievable, really
All right.
unbelievable.
Well, the other big show we got coming up, the next big show, Samir, will be the Arnold Classic. So looks like Andrew Jack just announced that he's going to do the Arnold Classic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's doing the Arnold Classic, but he's doing the Arnold UK. But I think he's doing both. So the Arnold UK
Mm-hmm.
is in England, and that's 2 weeks after the Arnold, and the Arnold is the first weekend in March in Columbus,
Mm-hmm.
Ohio, of course. So Samson and Andrew Jack are both doing it. So, do you think what kind of improvement do you think Andrew Jack can make from the Olympia where he got fifth and he was a little bit off? How much improvement do you think he can make in time for the Arnold?
It's really hard to say, but I mean, sometime if he improve his quality, that could be an improvement. But then again, depend. I mean, I don't know how he peaked because Andrew's got a beautiful body. You and I always talked about
Yeah,
his proportion, shoulder to waist ratio, unbelievable. And look at his delts here. Oh my God! I mean, the shoulders.
yeah,
The guy's amazing. Probably, look. Sometimes you can peak and look good, but the peak won't be perfect. Sometimes you don't peak perfectly, and then the next show you can do way better and peak and have fuller muscle and thinner skin. And people cannot
Mhm.
differentiate between the conditions sometimes. Sometimes 1 or 2 additional pound of reserve minus a pound of subcutaneous fluid that can make you look like a different person.
Yeah.
So we don't know. I think he looks great, but I don't think he's going to be making a huge gain in terms of gaining muscle quality. I mean, muscle size. His
Right.
size is good, and so hopefully he will. I don't know if he could improve in terms of trying to put on mass again and go back down. I don't think he should do that. Just stay lean, get extra shredded, and fill up properly, getting fuller
Hmm.
and drier. If he's a bit fuller and
Yeah, I don't
drier,
think he was
that
at his
would be an
best.
improvement. He
I don't think
wasn't,
he was
right?
at his best at the Olympia. You know,
That's
I
what
was
I'm
hoping he'll
saying.
look better at the Olympia. So yeah, hopefully he'll look better at this one.
From my perspective, John, to make gain, you need allow 6 months at least. So 3 months of putting on enough mass, and then you could trim down a little bit.
Right.
Or I mean, you can gain
Right.
muscle and lose body fat simultaneously. But in his case, I honestly don't think. I think he's big enough. I can see condition could be slightly better yet. Yes, he could be. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm looking at his chest. The guy is tremendous. If he can get that paper thin skin, although you see his chest is more striated here than Samson,
Hmm.
and actually his skin is slightly thinner than Samson. But I mean, the
Yeah, I
quality
agree.
can improve. And Samson, I think Samson, if he's etched to the bone with paper thin skin, he's deadly too. So both of them are tremendous.
Yeah.
But I see Andrew Jack improving with quality and fullness. It probably can make an improvement for sure. Yes, hopefully.
Yeah, he's going to have to win a show because he only took fifth at the Olympia. So you got to, it's not the top five anymore. I think it's the top three. So he's going to have to win a show in order to qualify for the Olympia next year in 2024.
Hmm. I think he could do it. If you notice, Crizzo, I saw some new photo of Crizzo. His leg got fuller,
Hmm.
his entire body got fuller, and he looks harder. So sometime during the peaking process, there's a little nervousness, and they're not really worried about eating. And sometimes when you're carefree and you eat and load up, and your body get full, vascular, your skin gets
Hmm.
thinner, and so it's like that part of peaking. Sometimes certain people mess things up mentally by always
Hmm.
sitting there worrying about what's going to happen, what might happen. I think Rizzo looked better after the show. Really, I saw some pictures of his legs were bigger and harder. And
Hmm.
so, yeah, yeah. I mean, peaking is definitely okay. So, um, here, check his legs right here looks bigger than they were at the Olympia stage. And I think this is after the Olympia, right, John?
Yeah, that
Or
show
I
he
saw
did after
some.
the Olympia, he definitely looked better.
He does. I mean, look at his face; look even tighter. Um, I wish I could see a photo of him.
The
I
prog-
saw this photo. Yeah, yeah. That's why we're talking about Andrew Jacques. If he peak better and get that fullness in that paper
yeah.
thin skin simultaneously, oh my God, he's a big troublemaker. He'll win the show.
Hmm.
Hmm. It happened to
Now, what
me
do you think
many
about
times, John. Go ahead.
Samson? Because Samson is just going nonstop. So Samson did the Olympia, then he did the Romania, he did the Prague, and then he's going right into the Arnold. So there's no break for him. I mean, he's a little bit off season right now, but he's only got 12 weeks now, and now he's going to have to start. This is the latest video of him. So this is
You
what
see
he
how
looks
much
like now,
fuller?
and now he's got Yeah,
you see
it's
what I'm
huge.
talking about? Look at the fullness. Now his maximum fullness came in after the show where he loaded up. He was carefree, didn't even
Hmm.
care about onion skin, whatever. But look at, I think his quad looks nearly the same, but he's about, at least, it looks like 20 pounds heavier. I bet you anything
Right,
he's at least 15, 20 pounds heavier.
right.
You notice, John? The same thing happened to Regan Grime. Regan went up 40 pounds. In other words, if
Yeah,
Regan had 10 pounds without gaining a milligram of subcutaneous fluid, oh my God, he would have jumped in the winner's circle. But
yeah,
this man, I'm telling you, Samson's body is unbelievable. He just have to fine
yeah,
tune that last few days. And again, remember we talked about it in the past. You got this hormonal related fluid. It's like a sticky that doesn't come off with a simple diuretic, or something that
hmm,
he's using that actually leading to that fluid retention. Some fluid retention become like a glue. Then you cannot get that paper thin skin. So if he get that paper thin skin, there's nobody's gonna beat that. Nobody's gonna beat that. Look
no,
at that. I mean, he's cut already at this weight, and I guarantee you, if you give him a diuretic, it's not gonna work perfectly. There is a reason, and I don't want to go into details so his coach don't get mad at me. I don't want Milos to get mad at me now. So I'm trying. I'm avoiding trying to clash with Milos. You know, Milos gonna say, "Oh, you want to debate? You want to debate?" I'm like, Milos, you have some great guys, but sometimes it makes a huge difference to have that 5 pound of less subcutaneous fluid and get that paper saran wrap onion skin. It will make a huge difference. This is what I was talking about,
yeah,
Andrew Jack. So Andrew get that fullness, more finer skin. Wow, he's going to be a different person too. So, but I'll tell you what,
what do you think?
Samson's body is unbelievably impressive. Samson is like, he should be slam dunk Mr. Olympia. He need to nail that one part.
Well, what about him
Who was
doing the?
aware?
What about him doing the Arnold? Do you think he's going to burn out with doing too many shows?
I don't know about the burnout, but depends. Depends. It's really hard for me or you, Jean, to pinpoint what's being done, what's the kind of toxicity level, because using the gear is going to affect your liver enzyme. And so if your liver
Hmm.
enzyme is way up there, the body won't function the same. You know,
Right.
if your liver isn't clean, you cannot break down things properly. Your body won't function the same. So it's
Yeah.
all based on his coaches, his blood tests, and checking things. Again, unfortunately, this has become medically involved here. We need to know what's the number. What is this
Yeah.
different enzyme, the SGPT, SGOT, etc. And if they're on the low side, then maybe he's capable. And then again, there's other area to check in the body. And so, as I know, one dear friend of mine, he was in unbelievable shape, and he was like, boom, 2 weeks out, he messed up. His kidney were like really in bad condition, so he had to get off the show. So we need to pay attention to health, bro. I mean, guys like Samson
Yeah.
shouldn't be in a rush. Samson have the body to win it. If not now, next year.
Yeah.
But I would put more. I will take it easy, Jean. I'll make sure I'm healthy, cleanse my body, and then come back stronger. Same thing with Andrew Jack and
Yeah.
what have you. I'm sure you agree with me on that.
Yeah. He's. I mean, Samson's cleaning up. I mean, he won the Arnold last year, got third in the Olympia, so he's already qualified for the Olympia next year. He didn't have to do these other shows. Then he did Prague, he did Romania, and now he's doing the Arnold again. He might do the Arnold UK, which is going to be 2 weeks after the Arnold.
So
I mean, he is just cleaning up money wise. You know, he's just taking it all
I
home.
know, I know,
I mean,
but the
look
money is good,
at
John. John, I hear you. The money is good. He's making money, but I would keep my health a top priority and make sure
yeah,
all my
no,
numbers are good. And that's what I'm saying. I think
yeah,
taxing the body, taxing your liver, taxing your kidneys. This is the issue here.
yeah,
You can if I don't
yeah,
burn out from training, but the body burn out from excessive A, B, C. Even if you even if you change
yeah,
the ester, John, even if you change the ester of the medication, because sometimes you take the same ester, the body will adapt to it. So you change it, there would be a better response. But that's not the point here. The point is your liver and kidneys safe? This is what we need to focus
yeah,
on. Your liver enzyme, your
right.
kidneys, your red blood cell count, all of these things are important to stay healthy and come back and win show in the future. So
Right, right.
unfortunately, I
So
know
now
you're into the
the
natural
list for the
bodybuilding. I was
yeah.
saying you into the natural bodybuilding, John. That's why the unnatural bodybuilding have to do all these things.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Mm.
So the list comes out Friday for the Arnold Classic. So if Samson's going to do it, and then Andrew Jack's going to do it, who else do you think should do it?
I will tell guys like Nathan not to compete because he overdid it for his health. Is not a good thing.
Yeah,
He competed like 7, 8 times. I don't know. I think maybe Crizzo. I don't know if Crizzo is going to do it.
yeah.
I mean, the guys look, they don't look unhealthy, but we don't know what's in the engine. We don't know what's going on. So they have
What
to be
about
wise enough.
Hunter?
Hunter, I'm not worried about Hunter. Hunter is in safe hands because I know who's he working with, and I know if he do
But I mean,
it,
do you
if
think he can
he's
do it?
in good health, he'll do it. Oh, I'm sure they will make decision. Him and his father and his team. I know he have a group of people that's sane around him,
Yeah,
and they care about his health and well-being. So, which is,
yeah.
I would say, this is you do it based on that. In good health, you can do it. You're on the border line.
What
You're
about
overtaxing the body. You can do it. What about
what
what?
about Hadi? You think Hadi should do it?
Well, also that remain in the hand of what's going on. I'm sure Hani knows what's going on with Hadi, and so they will look into the health aspect, and if they can move on and win and stay healthy, they'll do it. I think the good things about Hani, he's a sane coach. He doesn't do irrational stuff that some of those coaches do.
Hmm.
So I don't know. It's hard to say.
But
So
that would be a good thing. I mean, I don't know about the health aspect, but if Hadi comes back from an Olympia loss, he's a former Mr. Olympia. He beat Samson at the Arnold. I mean, at the Olympia. So now he comes to the Arnold and he wins the Arnold. I mean, I think that would kind of be a good move competitively, don't you?
well, I mean, he liked to redeem himself. I mean, I know
Right.
In Hardy's mind, he could have been Mr. Olympia. So, like we discussed that topic again and again. And I think Hardy is a smart guy. He's not going to do anything just for the sake of winning contests because he's a family man. He have wife and children, and he wants to stay healthy. This is one thing about Hardy you have to
Yeah.
remember. He's a smart man. And smart man working with a smart coach, I'm sure they will make the right decision. But I guarantee you he'll win it.
Yeah.
If he comes in that same condition, he'll win. But then
Yeah.
again, look,
Yeah.
I can't say that if someone like Samson come out of nowhere and improve his quality by like 20%. If Samson comes in shredded to the bone, John, it's not. I think we're all of them will be in trouble. And I'm being honest with you. If
Oh,
he
yeah.
comes in
Yeah.
shredded
I
to the
think,
bone, you know,
I mean, right
you think what?
now, the way things are right now, I would pick Samson as a front runner for the Olympia this year or for next year for 2024. I think a lot of people are. I think a lot of people feel like Samson could win it.
Okay, I'm going to tell you my honest perspective here, my honest opinion. I met Samson, wonderful. The guy have a great, great body, really good. But if he doesn't come in with that saran wrap, that onion skin, John, I won't guarantee him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If he doesn't come in with that paper thin. I mean, he's coming in cut and he looked very impressive. But you know what? When you look at photos taken from 20 yard away, 25 yard away, you do not see the quality of that paper thin like the judges do from 10 yard away. Okay. So to say Samson wasn't good, no, he was. But the degree of sharpness, it was not on the same par of Hadi Chopin and Derek, let's say. You know what I mean? So you have the body. Yes, Sergio Oliva have the body. He competed in the 84 Olympia. He was off, and the myth got kicked. You know, and they kicked his butt. Rest in peace. Even Sergio Oliva, if he doesn't show up with that onion skin, you will not get the same result. I don't care if you're Lee Haney, Dorian Nath, or Samir. If you don't come in prepared 100%, 24K quality, which is Samson is capable of, or Regan Grime is capable of. So there is something that needs to be done. I know what it is. I would love to share it with Milos. I would love to share that with Milos. Because if Samson come in paper thin skin, he'll win. I think he will be the most dangerous. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, I think the feeling is after the Olympia, just the talk I'm hearing on other podcasts from other people, I just feel like everybody's kind of saying next year it could be Samson's year. You know, I think he's like the front runner right now. They're not really talking about Hadi as much. They're not talking about Derek, who won the contest. They're talking more about like Samson could win this thing for many, many years or for several years in a row because he's got that frame, he's got the size. He just needs to dial it in more, but he's got it all. You know, I think he's the hottest name right now in bodybuilding.
John, we know that. We know that he has to dial it in. But sometimes you could diet all you want. You could kill yourself, do cardio and everything. You will not get that onion skin unless you do certain things. There is something connected to his quality. It's not the hard work. He's working very hard. And yeah, he's doing the right thing in peaking, but there is something that is actually preventing him to get that 24K. He's become an 18 karat with a beautiful body. It's very impressive. Yeah, many people feel like his body is easily a winning body, and I'm one of them. But unless he gets that paper thin skin, John, it's not going to happen. I'm sorry. It is not going to happen.
Yeah.
And the same thing applies on
I think he's got the potential, but he's got to come in better.
Thank you. Same thing applies to Regan. And I tell you what, I told you how many times I like Regan's body. If Regan come in also with that superior paper thin skin and was more masterful. Now, Samson is a good poser. Samson is a better poser than Regan. Yeah. You know, Regan comes in, onion skin, and pose with mastery. You know what? He's just as dangerous as Samson, from my perspective. But the reason why you don't judge Regan like we are judging Samson, because Samson, he's aware when he does some poses, he make us like his body because the way he presented it, the way he showed it. So Regan is not doing that yet properly, with all due respect. That's my opinion. So
okay. All right. Well, let's get to some of these questions. We had some of our listeners send questions in again this week because there's not too many contests, although we did have the nationals this weekend. But this first question, Samir, is for you. It's about the 81 Olympia. So you were in the 81 Olympia. I was at the contest. I saw it when I was a teenager, and so I think I talked about it several times from my perspective. But I'd like to hear your perspective, being in the contest. What did you think about Franco Franco winning, and then Chris Dickerson was second, Tom was third, Roy Callender was fourth, Danny Padilla was fifth. So how did you feel? You were backstage with these guys. How did they look backstage? Tell me your perspective on what happened.
I was very eager to come back and be a front runner myself because, I did very well in 82. I could have won in 82 and 83, but in 81, I was just there. I definitely didn't deserve to be in the winner's circle. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was just saying about Samson didn't get that paper thin skin. And so I didn't, and I got blown away. And my potential was always good to be in the winner's circle or win it. So being there, honestly, well, let's be honest right here. Tom Platz is a good friend of mine. Danny Padilla was someone that actually see me here standing behind Danny. And so, to be honest, Danny Padilla was very, very shredded. I mean, Danny's body is complete. And I was right there with him. I mean, the guy was sliced to the bone. Tom Platz looked very good. He was cut. He's got a healthy looking body. Tom's body looks healthier than Danny. Healthier. More golden color. Beautiful. Now, Franco, rest in peace, he could have been Mr. Olympia on the upper body. Okay, so we're not judging an upper body contest here. It's the entire body. And to be fair, Franco's lower body was terrible. Terrible. And he have a good reason.
Yeah.
Man, he rest in peace. His accident at Universal Studio running with the refrigerator, that what causes this mess. Broke his legs and he could not heal. And so the show, from my perspective, it was between Danny Padilla and Tom Platz. So Danny Padilla getting fifth place, that's a complete robbery. It's not possible. There is no way in hell Danny Padilla coming fifth. In fact, personally, I voted for Danny Padilla to win. Danny have a very symmetrical body. Now, let's say Tom and Danny have the top quality in the show, and they both look really, really good. I mean, the Golden Eagle had beautiful muscle shape. He was really right on the money. That the way I judge contests is I have to look at the overall physique. So based on the overall physique, ankle, diamond calf, thighs, hamstring, small waist, Danny Padilla had everything flows properly, Jean. And let's not bullshit ourselves here. Danny Padilla got robbed in a huge way. So, but if you tell me if the show was given to Tom Platz, it would still be also justifiable because, Tom looked really nice. Looks golden, healthy. The only thing that he didn't have the overall harmony of Danny Padilla. Danny Padilla's harmony
what about Roy
is one of the best. Roy Callender is very impressive, always like thick and striated. I think I would put Roy Callender in the top 3 in that show.
Okay.
3 or 4. I mean, he should have been easily in the winner.
And how about Dickerson? What about Chris Dickerson? What do you feel about him?
He wasn't. What place was Chris in that show again?
Second, right behind Franco.
Well, okay. Here's the scoop. Chris Dickerson is a masterful poser. Chris Dickerson is a masterful poser. Chris has got so much confidence that people cannot understand why he's winning shows and why he was a runner-up to Olympia. Chris, rest in peace, had a beautiful persona. I mean, he was very strong personality on stage, so confident, he's elegant. But if I judge it muscle to muscle, balance, quality, onion skin, I would have to go Danny Padilla first, Tom Platz second, Dickerson probably third. Franco, will move Franco back to fourth or fifth. Because honestly, based on the legs development, that's where Franco really lost it all. I mean, well, he's Mr. Olympia 81, but from my perspective, uh, I just don't know how this is what judge and how did he become first at that Olympia. I don't know. I have no explanation other than I don't know who to point finger, what happened exactly. But all I know, Danny Padilla and Tom Platt would have been worthy of that title. And so,
And
Tom,
Calendar, would you put Calendar ahead of Dickerson?
fuck, it's very hard for me to say here, but I can tell you the top three for sure: Padilla, Tom Platz, Dickerson, Roy Calendar, Franco. But that's it. I mean, upper body wise, Franco was incredible, but when you don't have legs, there's no way you could be Mr. Olympia, in my opinion. So, and I love Franco. Don't take me wrong here. He's one of my favorite people.
How did it look backstage? Like when you were backstage, did you notice when you were pumping up and stuff? Did you say, "Oh my God, Tom Platz is looking great" or "Danny's looking great"?
Yeah, I mean, I was
Did you notice
impressed
anybody back?
by. Yeah, I was very close. You know, Danny Padilla was right next to me. I mean, you could see he was etched to the bone. I mean, Danny was ripped beyond ripped. And Tom had that healthy looking skin, uh, plenty of muscle. But I think Tom's excessive legs development came back to haunt him, from my perspective. You know, if Danny
Mm-hmm.
have 2 inches smaller legs, he would have been Mr. Olympia. That's how I see it. And I became Mr. Olympia because I had the total balance. Now, Tom Plath, God bless him. I mean, he was very close. It's sad that he got injured the year after. You know, Tom would make a tremendous Mr. Olympia because he's a good ambassador, great guy. But you know, I'm judging bodybuilding based on bodybuilding. I mean, you know, you see, if Danny's arm, for example, if you compare Danny's arm to Tom Plath, Danny would win the arm. I mean, Danny's arm is better than both, than Franco and Tom. If you look at the midsection, Danny was etched. If you look at the overall balance, Danny wins it. Look at his waist, how small. Look at the photo. We look at Tom Platt's golden glow. Tom was a healthy looking muscle. You know, but you know, you got those crowd that's very impressed with big legs, and they start judging because huge leg, striated, quad. To me, that's not everything. The whole package. If you don't have the whole package, you're not gonna do well as well. So, but right there, Danny and Tom would have been my first two pick, and then my final decision would go to Danny Padilla.
All right. Let's go to the next question.
John, I never asked you, how did you see it yourself, the top two? I don't recall what you said.
I would have had Tom in first. Tom Platz. And I would have had I would have had Roy Calendar in second. I would have had Danny in third.
Why? Why not Danny in the top three?
Danny looks like perfect in photos, but when he was up there next to those other guys, I mean, I know he's shorter, but he just looked like he didn't impress me as much. He didn't take up the stage like Tom. I thought Tom was like really for him. I thought it was perfect. Like he was big, he was cut, his posing was good, his tan was good. I mean, he had everything. I thought his upper body was so improved from the year before. I didn't think his upper body was, I mean, his legs were still bigger, but I didn't think his upper body was like way out of proportion. And then Roy.
Were you there, John?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, I had really good seats too. I was in the middle. I was, what was I, 18 years old that year. And then Roy, I thought Roy was thick and he was ripped and he was real aggressive on stage. Like he was like posing next to Franco, showing his leg and stuff. So I thought Roy was like the best I ever saw him. So I would have had him above Danny just a little bit. But I thought Danny was like unbelievable, you know, like he was so shredded. But like I said, just next to those other guys, he just didn't stand out. He just like was kind of smaller, you know. But I think when you see pictures of Danny from that show, man, he looks like Mr. Olympia all day long. And I think that's why most people who weren't there, but they see pictures of it, they would have had Danny Padilla in first. But it's different when you're there than when you just see pictures, you know. It's a big difference.
Tom ended up,
and I would have had Franco.
Tom ended up what, fourth?
Third.
Tom ended up in third place.
Yeah.
Well, again,
yeah. Danny was
there.
fifth.
You were there.
Danny was fifth. We were fourth.
You know what's funny?
I would have had Dickerson first, and I would have had Franco fifth.
A couple of the judges right now, they were going through it on Facebook, and some of the judges felt like Danny Padilla was definitely should have been the winner. So for me, it's to see Tom Plath or Danny would have been good enough for me. So one of the two.
Yeah, yeah.
One have healthier glow, one have overall balance, and they were both shredded. So,
yeah,
you know, it was orange and apple. So,
yeah. All right, let me read this next question here. This guy says, I train shoulders. I do 7 to 8 different exercises. Is that too much, considering I'm mostly doing supersets, 4 sets of each, and reps 15 to 20 reps, 4 sets of each exercise, and 7 to 8 exercises. Is that too much for shoulders?
In my opinion, it is. It is. And so for me, first of all, I like to say some things about shoulders, and some people may not agree with me, even though I came from the old school too. I never think shoulder presses is of a great importance. And I eliminated shoulder presses from my training. Why? Because when you do shoulder presses, John, you're only working the upper part of your delts, this one right there, where you could actually, when you go front raises, you get it. So, because you normally, when you do bench press, this area is activated too. So, when you do shoulder presses, you're really not hitting anything other than your front part of your delt and triceps. So, therefore, for me personally, I do front, I do side lateral, and bend over, you know, dumbbells bend over, and then I do upright row or shrugs. So that covers the entire area. Front, one. Side, the side. Rear, the entire shoulders cap works. And then you do upright row or shrugs with heavy weight, and that covers the whole shoulder. So really, how much do you need? I don't concept reps and set. I don't think that doing like 15, 20 reps is a good thing. I could probably do one set that of 14, maybe 20, but I will handle heavy enough weight where I could do maybe, I don't know, 8 or 12. I don't count reps. So doing that much work, 7 different exercises, I don't think it's necessary. So for me, I will go 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 different exercises. That's it. You cover the whole shoulders right there. And they really were effective. And the fact that I was talking to so many people, including Frank Zane, who did a lot of shoulder presses, and he had a couple of surgery now because he messed up his rotator cuff. So his rotator got messed up from all the heavy dumbbells work. And you think about it, John, when you do shoulder presses, you're not working your whole shoulder. You're not. You're only working this. That's from my perspective. You might not agree with it. Bill Pearl, may rest in peace, may not agree with it. one of the greatest. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
Arnold agree with that too, but for me personally, after years of experience, I don't think it's necessary. If you want to do it once in a while to do it for the sake of doing it, it's okay. But to develop a perfect shoulders, you do front, side, rear, upright row, or shrugs. That's it. That's a complete
Okay.
shoulders workout. I would
Yeah.
say yes to my friend right here who asked us this question. It is a little bit excessive and it's really not needed.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But then
agree.
again, you have
I think it's too much.
adaptation. Yeah, but John, some people adapt to these kind of stuff and the body adapt to it. But I don't think it's really necessary. I don't think Dorian Yates did this much. I was around Mike and Casey. We didn't do that much. So, you answer that question from your perspective, John, and tell that
Yeah,
kids what
I
you
think it's
think.
too much too. I agree. Just do like one exercise for each part of the muscle. So you got the front, you got the side, you got the rear. So you got to do at least 3 exercises there. And then I do another exercise for the traps. So that's 4 exercises. So yeah, at the most I would do 4, maybe 5 exercises. I still do presses though. I'll switch it around. I'll do like right now I'm doing standing barbell presses, which I really like. So because that gets the
I did.
front part, but it gets your triceps. It even gets my traps a little bit when I lock out on top. I can feel my whole upper back working. So I like using those compound movements, and I usually start off with that, and then that gets my whole shoulder girdle warmed up, and that's the compound movement. And then after I get the blood in the muscle, then I'll go to the side laterals and I'll get the side part, and then I might do like one extra exercise for the side, like maybe like cable upright rows, but I only do like
Hmm.
2 or 3 sets. And and then I'll do the rear delts. I'll do like 3 sets or 4 sets of that. So I usually do
Hmm.
bent over lateral raises, just bending over with the dumbbells. I don't use machines. And then I'll do shrugs. I'll either do dumbbell shrugs or I'll do barbell shrugs. And then the
Hmm.
reps, I usually go like usually 8 to 10, 8 to 12. It seems like with the lateral raises, I feel it more if I do 10 or 12 reps. With the presses, I might go down to 8, maybe even 6. And then the shrugs, I go a little
Okay.
bit heavier too. I'll start with 10, add weight, do 8, and then add weight, and maybe do 6 on the last set or two. So yeah, I think
Okay.
what was he doing? 15 to 20 reps. I think that's way too much. I don't think that's more of a pump. You're just gonna. I
Okay.
think it's better to do a little bit heavier weight, more moderate reps.
Okay, John. Question for you right now. Question for you. When someone say I do 4 set of 12 reps,
Yeah.
why? Why 12 reps? Why not 14? Why not 7? Why not 9? So the bottom line is you won't let go when it's like 12. Okay, 12, drop it. No, you got to go by feeling and by pushing to the limit. So with the limit, whether the
Hmm.
limit comes in at number 7 reps or 12 reps or 14. This is why I personally remove the reps. I don't count reps. I mean, I don't. What happens if I'm using 300 pounds of, let's say, of shrugs or whatever, or maybe uh, whatever. Let's say 40 pound of side lateral. I mean, your shoulders gave up when you did 8 reps, and then after
Hmm.
that, what? You just try and fake and move the muscle, and then I. That's why I decided no more counting reps, not even sets. My sets fall in between 2 to 4, and reps between 7 to whatever 12, 14. I don't know, somewhere around that. So what do you say to
But you're
that?
still counting it. You're still counting the reps because you know how many you're doing, right?
I'm not dropping it. Like you said, it's 8 to 12. So, you know, if someone says, I'll do 4 by 12 or 4 by 10, that doesn't mean you have to
Hmm.
drop it at 10. So you got to go to the limit, whether it's 11 or 14 or whatever. What do you think about
Yeah.
that?
Well, I think the reps are a good indication of how heavy the weight is, and then you know how much weight you can do or how many reps you can do with that weight. So if you're only getting like 4 reps, that's too heavy, you know, for building the muscle. So I think you got to go more between like 6 and 12 for building the muscle. I think those are the best reps for hypertrophy. I think when you're doing 15 to 20, you're getting more of a pump, but it's not heavy enough to really tear down the muscle tissue. So that's why I try to go between that 6 to 12 rep range.
Okay. Got you.
All right.
Any other
What's
questions,
our next
John?
question? Yeah, we had one about Bertil Fox, I think.
Uh-oh.
There, I got it on my phone.
Foxy Fox.
Yeah, so the 1983 Olympia that you won, Samir, a lot of people feel Bertil Fox deserves second place behind you. What do you think of that?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Yes, when you see him backstage walking around, the guy has like tremendous amount of muscle roundness. Massive. Okay.
Yeah.
That's yes, when you see that, you say, wow, this guy is like the 900-pound gorilla. He's like freaky. He's like really, to me, he was one of the baddest, probably the thickest bodybuilder until even today. We don't find anybody
I
with that
know.
kind of thickness. Nobody. I'm talking that
Right.
include Andrew and Samson and what have you. The density of Bertil Fox
Yeah.
has not been repeated since. He has so much
Yeah.
muscle density. Okay, now
Right.
that's the yes part. That's the yes part. The reason why Bertil and landed in like I think fourth or fifth, I don't know what place they
Fifth.
gave him. Fifth. Okay.
Fifth.
Fifth. I think that's a little bit harsh, a little bit excessive. The reason why he didn't fall in the top three because his lower abs wasn't sharp enough. His abs wasn't onion skin. And yes, he
Okay.
was shredded. It was a lot of muscle. But when he posed, let's say if I am 8, when I pose, I make my body 10 and 11 or 12. Bertil, if he's 8, when he pose, he make his body 5 and 6. So he lose ground. He doesn't have control over showing it. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, remember Pete Gronkowski. Pete Gronkowski, who was actually a good friend of mine who owned Gold Gym,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
anyhow. So it's Pete. When he go up in the lineup, he looks like the winner, just standing there. When he posed, he went backward.
Yeah.
He hurt himself, and I think Bertil did the same. He didn't do as good. He lost the ground on posing, and yes, he could have been sharper in the middle. With all that, I think he is definitely in the top 3. I gave him no less than 3rd place.
So Muhammad Makawi was
okay.
Muhammad Makawi was second. Lee Haney was third, and then Zane was fourth. So who would you have put Bertil Fox ahead of? Would you put him ahead of Haney and Frank Zane?
Okay, look at me. I'm backstage, right? And I'm looking at everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Makawi is the complete opposite of Bertil Fox. When you look at Makawi backstage, you don't give him the top 3. You say he looks good, pretty body, small, short, but when Makawi get on stage, he make his 10, he turn it to 15. Like Fox, his 10, bring it down to 5. So Makawi, he spread his wing in his powerful personality, the transition for every pose, the power, the confidence. So Makawi ended up in 2nd place because of that, remember. But I would definitely put Fox in the top 3, whomever you want to take out of the top 3. Look, I mean, Haney was very impressive. I mean, really, Haney and Fox both were like, to me, they were like on the same level. That was Haney's first
Yeah.
Mr. Olympia appearance. And so in my head, I was
Right.
thinking either Fox or Haney, and I really didn't see Makawi in the top three. I saw Fox and Haney in the top three. And I
Oh,
no
really? Okay.
disrespect,
All right.
no disrespect to Makawi.
Yeah.
Haney and Bertil Fox were massive. I mean, look at Joseph Polkosh, rest in peace. Joseph was massive, but backstage, you can see Joseph's body was more square. Haney, we all
Yeah.
know Haney's incredible V, shoulders to waist ratio,
Yeah.
in good shape. Fox, oh my God, Fox was like watermelon, round, and really, I felt Fox would have been. I mean, the guy is saying that he deserves second place at Miss Olympia. I'm not gonna tell you any lie. I think I had Fox and Haney as a second and third, which were you could decide on which is which. But that's how
Okay.
impressive was Fox. We can't deny that. He was very
Wow.
impressive. He just
Yeah.
didn't pose like Lee Haney, and his middle wasn't as tight as Lee Haney. Haney's small waist.
Yeah.
Foxes have overdone Lee Haney on arms. Fox can take anybody on arms and roundness. Nobody can mess with him. I could not mess
Yeah.
with Fox. Will destroy me on freakness and muscle mass. But I
Yeah.
also won because I have enough muscle and I presented it well and I was in better shape. I was a
Right.
little bit better. He was 21, I was 24K. So that's why I won. If he was
Yeah.
24K, oh my God, I would have been like, I probably would have been in trouble too. So, yeah,
Yeah, you make a good
that's the
point.
truth.
You make a good point about the posing because they judged every round back then. So they judged the relaxed round, they judged the mandatories, and they judged the posing. So if your posing wasn't that good, you could place lower in that round. And I think that's how Makawe placed so high because his posing was good. And then Frank Zane had good posing too. So that's probably why he
You're
moved up
right.
too. And then
You're
also,
right about that.
I don't think Bertil Fox looked as good. He didn't look as good standing relaxed as he did posing, right? So, because he was wasn't he kind of narrow? He wasn't really like wide like Haney was.
He's
He was
not
kind of narrow.
narrow. He has so much muscle on him because there's no more room for muscle. The guy had beef, beef, beef. He's round. His frame on the shoulder similar to Flex Wheeler because he wasn't as
Yeah,
wide. And Flex was round too. But believe me, nobody in the history of United Kingdom was as thick as Bertil Fox. And I go that on the record. I'm
yeah,
sorry, Dorian. Nobody was more have muscle density as much as Bertil Fox. And that's the truth.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, the guy was also a freak.
yeah. He
You
was
know,
a
take 200-pound dumbbells. He do flies with 200 pounds. The guy was he was a gorilla. He was a gorilla. He was
yeah,
unbelievably massive. And unfortunately, his
yeah. And then
situation didn't help him.
they had 3 Grand Prix shows like in a couple of weeks right after that Olympia, and in the first Grand Prix show, I forget where it was. Uh, Makawe won. Lee Haney was third, and Fox was second. So I mean, Frank Zane
I tell
wasn't
you
in it.
what,
You weren't in it. But still, Bertil
no.
Fox beat Lee Haney, so that was interesting.
Let me tell you something. Bertil Fox, he can out muscle anybody, even today. He
Yeah,
will out muscle anybody. Nobody have Bertil Fox muscle density. Nobody. Not even in now, 2023. Nobody have Bertil Fox density. And you know what? Bertil Fox didn't do any of this crap that's being done today. He was
right.
just a freak. He was a moose. He was
I
amazing.
know he was super big.
But to answer the
Uh,
question,
let's go to the next.
what I think it is, he could have second would have been justifiable too.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
This next question said, what was our best shapes of all time? What do you think was your best? What year and what contest was the best you ever looked, Samir?
He said their best, not mine. What
Well, me and
was their
you. I think they
best?
mean me and you.
Okay. Mm,
Yeah.
I feel 1985 in Worcester, I was in better shape than the 83 Olympia. I was in better
Okay.
shape, and I was about probably 5, 6 pounds heavier, more muscular, and more complete. And yeah, that's my honest opinion. This is my best condition ever. And one time I competed in
Wow.
Helsinki. Also, I was in great condition, probably better than the 82 Olympia. But our friend Wayne D'Amelia doesn't fly, so doesn't he doesn't follow rule and regulation. He follow anyway. No, madam, more comment on this guy, man. Yeah, he's
Helsinki
very
in
good.
1982 in 1992.
In Helsinki, yes, I was in very good shape, and I could have won that show too. They killed me. They
Wow.
killed me. Thanks to Wayne D'Amelia. And
What happened?
Wayne D'Amelia, man, what can I tell you? He just this guy. I don't know what it is about him and me. He was very unfair toward me. He always changed the score at the end. He changed the score. He deliberately cheated me, and I'm telling you the truth right now. And I know that. And Bob Kennedy also pointed out to me that Wayne D'Amelia hurt a lot of people. Wayne D'Amelia is the reason why guys like Sean Ray didn't win the Mr. Olympia, to be honest with you. He just hate
Mm-hmm.
Sean Ray and Samir Bannout. Why? Because we spoke our mind. We talked about things. And so Wayne was not a fair man, honestly. And he never really touched the dumbbells in his life. So honestly, if I see him, I may say hi, but I don't want nothing with this guy. I'm glad he's no longer involved in IFBB. I'm really happy, isn't
So are you saying this was the 92 Olympia that Dorian won, the Helsinki one?
Not the one in Helsinki though. I'm talking. There's one show in Helsinki before. I think Lila Brada won
Oh,
that show, and I don't know if I can show you
oh,
the
one of the
photo. I mean, my condition in
Grand Prix, a
Helsinki.
Grand Prix show.
Yeah, it was a Grand Prix, Jean, and my condition was
What
spotless.
year?
This is it. This is the year I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
I don't know
What
if you
year was
see
that? Do
that.
you remember? Yeah, I see it.
I think it's 90 or 91. The thing is, I would have won that show. That was my show. I know I'm not a sore loser, but I was robbed because nobody looked like this guy. Nobody looked like this guy. I'm being honest here. But, with
Yeah.
Wayne D'Amelia on board, nobody could do. Yeah, this is the condition. And as you can see,
Wow.
leg is striated, muscular. Look at the waist, tiny waist. And when I turn to the
Yeah.
back, what happened? So, you have a guy that doesn't fly straight. So Wayne deliberately cheated me, and he treated me in Nottingham, England, when that show was being judged. Also, him promoted by Jean Martin. So I'm talking about it now, and I don't
Hmm.
really care. It's history, but I'm just saying, where was my best condition? And then you have some people
Yeah.
online. They go, "Oh, Samir is one time wonder," and if you go to my Facebook or Instagram, and you see that I kept good condition for more than a decade. And they all say, "Oh, 1983, I was 1 year wonder." What about 82? I could have won. 83, 84, I was in the winner's circle. Wayne cheated me in New York. 1985, I
Hmm.
go compete somewhere else. I win the overall in Worcester. Wayne wasn't there. Oh, Wayne was there watching. I won there.
Yeah.
Every show I did away from Wayne D'Amelia, I was in the winner's circle or winning. And so I got
Yeah.
suspended for competing in Worcester. But anyway, John, it's I don't cry over spilled milk, but I just like for people to know the truth. I am passionate. I stayed in condition for years, for decades. I kept
Hmm.
coming in and better and better and better. And the more I competed, the more Wayne D'Amelia was standing in the wing to take it away from me. That's it.
Yeah.
Wayne D'Amelia. And I'm going to say his name again. Wayne D'Amelia. And thank God Jim Manion found a way to get rid of this guy. Because really,
Yeah.
we all worked very hard. I don't care who win. John Hansen, Muhammad Makawi, Bertil Fox. For me, I will judge everyone fairly. Even if my son on stage, I will not give him first place if he doesn't deserve it. Will not help him.
Right.
But when you have a guy like Wayne who never lifted a weight in his life, and he's just there mooshing money, stealing money from here, stealing money from there. Anyway, it's a long story about that topic too. So, uh, you know, some people don't understand live and let live. This guy
Yeah.
deliberately cheating people. I tell you, Sean Ray should have been Mr. Olympia Cup for sure. And yeah, and when I come back and talk about it, Wayne D'Amelia's name comes up. I'm sorry, but I don't really mean to keep bringing this up, but people should know. People should know the truth.
Hmm.
Anyway, I wish him the best, but I'm glad he's not involved now. So
Well, for me, I think
yes,
my best condition was probably I got a couple of them. Uh, the '98 Olympia, Natural Olympia, I was in really good shape, but my legs
show
were
us the photo, John.
a little light. Does he
Show
have a
us.
photo here?
Where's that photo? Click
Well,
on
if you go
that.
to that top one, Scott, in the middle
Come on,
there,
John. That's Arnold. That's not you.
the one where I'm doing the double bicep pose or the bicep pose right there on the top.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that looks
that's
good.
when I won. Okay, there's a Natural Olympia right there.
That looks
That
good. How
one,
much
yeah.
did you weigh there, John?
I was 204,
Wow, that
and then
looks good. Pretty balanced.
those those shots in the balcony that was taken the morning of, so you could see how lean I was.
You were 20 what? 204? Two what?
Yeah,
205?
204. Yeah,
Mm,
204.
yeah, that looks good. Fantastic, John. And for doing that naturally, that's really impressive. Very
And then
impressive.
when I won the natural universe in '92, I was in really good shape for that too. But I think I was only about 198 for that, and I was like 204 for the natural Olympia, so I was about 6 pounds bigger.
And you 5'9", John, or 5'8"?
I was 5'8". Yeah,
You're 5'8". So that's the difference. We have an inch. You're about an inch taller than me, inch and a half.
yeah,
That's pretty impressive. Anybody that compete at 200 pound naturally is very impressive.
yeah. That's true.
Yes, sir.
Most natural bodybuilders are in over 200 pounds. That's true.
Very
All
good.
right. Do we have another question, Scott? How many more you want to do, Samir? One more. One more.
I'm ready for any question.
It says, "Is there
Is there
anyone that
anyone that
can
can?
genuinely beat CBUM? Why can't he be beaten? What
Why?
do you think?" Yeah, I'm gonna plug in my
Mm,
computer.
I mean, let's say, so far, Chris Bumstead, uh, he's preparing for every shows in coming in great condition. I mean, yeah, I mean, what can I tell you? He's beatable. Let's put it this
So
way. He's beatable. Chris,
okay.
Chris Bumstead is beatable. I mean, like for example, guys like Urs, like Urs, if he put on a couple inches on his arm, he have a beautiful line. I mean, Urs is beautiful. He's got a great body. Now, Ramon, I honestly feel like he could have taken a couple places, first places, and I love Ramon's body. Uh, I don't know what Ramon need to do to outmatch Chris Bum on stage presentation. You know, Bum said he gets super shredded, but I know where's his flaws. I know where's his flaws. And again, get guys like Urs with 10 more pounds plus about an inch and a half on his arm or 2 inches. He'll be like, probably could do that. And Ramon, in my opinion, is a great contestant. I mean, he's having a tough time with Chris Bumstead because, again, we said it before, Bumstead is very, his stage presentation really much more powerful than Ramon, and he know how to control his
Yeah.
body. But do I think Chris Bumstead beatable? Of course he's beatable. Everybody's beatable. There's no such a thing as unbeatable. I don't know. I would love to see Urs and look. I mean, guy like Brayon. I mean, Brayon. If you look at Brayon's upper body, he's probably more rounder and got just as good as Bumstead, if not better in the upper body. But Bumstead's the lower body and presentation. This is what he separated himself from the guys. But Bumstead need a guy like me to come in shredded at 205 or 208. And I don't need to be more than 208. I'm only like 5'6.5". And I can go face to face with Bumstead. I think he'll have a tough time with me. I honestly say that, not bragging. But the reason why a guy like me can do very well against Bumstead, simply because the back department, the arms department, the chest department, the overall physique, the flow, and the matching presentation. So he had to have a tougher time with a guy like me. I honestly say that without being arrogant, but again, nobody's nowadays is standing up to the next Bumstead and really making it really difficult. So,
Yeah.
what do you say about that, John? What do you say about Bumstead? I mean, what do you think as far as being beatable or what?
I think
Or anyone?
the reason why he wins every year is because number one, he's got a really good structure. I think that's why he beats Ramon. He's got wider shoulders, so he's tall. That helps out too. He's tall. He's got a good structure, and he really knows how to present his physique. He's really good at that. Like he knows what poses he looks best in. He's got,
Yeah.
he knows he's got that vacuum pose. He's got that side chest pose, is amazing. His 3/4 back pose.
Mm,
He's brought his back up. His legs are not weak. He's got really good legs. Um, his
yeah.
arms aren't the greatest, but the way he presents them on stage, he kind of reminds me like of a Zane or an Arnold, just in his presentation. He comes across as a winner, even if he's not like way better than everybody else. He's still better than everybody else. So I think he's going to be really hard to beat. He would need somebody who's got a structure like him, who's got the height, and who really stands out and is really ripped and really knows how to present his physique. And I think Ramon came really close last year, or this year, I should say, because they raised the height up a little or the weight up a little bit, and he was able to add a few more pounds of muscle. And I was at the prejudging and I was right there and I watched it, and he was really close to Chris in a lot of shots. But I think what hurts Ramon is he just doesn't have the structure that Chris has. Chris has got those wider shoulders, and it does make a
Come
difference.
on.
So I
Ramon
think
have a structure, John.
if Chris
Ramon
wants to
have a good
win,
structure.
he does, but he's not
Ramon
as
have a good
wide.
structure.
He's got better body parts, like he's
Uh,
got better forearms, but
look.
he just doesn't have the structure.
Flex Wheeler wasn't wide. Bertil Fox wasn't wide. You always like. I mean, let's give CBUM the credit that he deserves.
They didn't win
But
the Olympia
John,
either. Flex and
he's
Bertil Fox didn't
beatable.
win the Olympia.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let's put Flex Wheeler in top shape, healthy Flex Wheeler in top shape. versus Chris Bumstead, who would win?
Oh, Flex, he's got more muscle.
Okay. Now, this is
He's got
what
a
I'm
better
trying
body.
to say. Okay, let's say ripped, listen. Ripped to the bone Samson at the same quality of Bumstead. Who would win?
Against Chris Bumstead?
Samson
Well,
shredded. I don't care. Now division,
comparing.
not division. I'm just talking. I know two different
Yeah, you
divisions.
can't compare
I, I,
bodybuilder to a classic.
no, you can the old school way. You can. We're gonna bypass the new regulation. I'm just talking
Well, if
because
Chris
I
was
see a lot
competing in the
of people
open, he
on.
would be.
I see a lot of
If
people
Chris was
online
competing in the
comparing
open,
Arnold
he'd
to
be
Bumstead.
bigger. He'd have more muscle.
That's why I'm thinking, why doesn't Bumstead do the Mr. Olympia with the big boy? I mean, you said you have the white structure, you have everything. I think
Yeah.
he doesn't need to take any more gear. And I think that would be unbelievable for Bumstead to go and show the world that I am 265-pound, pretty body, classical body, and I can beat Samson, I can beat Andrew Jack, and I can beat whatever. I mean, look, Andrew
Well,
Jack
he would have to take.
shredded. Well, I mean, to me, look, Samir's got a weird way. To me, bodybuilding is bodybuilding. I don't want to talk about classic.
Yeah,
I mean, right now, the
that's
new regulation changed things around. And you still have photo online. I saw a million time photo comparing Bumstead to Arnold. And you know what? Bumstead have an army of followers. You have an army of
Mhm.
fans that they like him a lot. But for me, I'm going to judge it fairly. I don't care whether Arnold or Bumstead. I don't care really. I would say Arnold have that muscle belly that is very different. Arnold have that muscle belly that's very special. So Bumstead is
Mhm.
doing so well against the guy who's competing against right now, and he's beating him deservingly. You know, the only one that came in close is Ramon. I would love to see
Yeah.
Bumstead to be a little more brave. I know he's doing very well business wise and successful, but just one time, Chris, one time with Hani, do a very sound, healthy prep. Make sure all the medical situations done right. Your health is in top condition. And yes, do one prep to go against the big boy. I would love to see that.
Mm.
And you know what? His chances is excellent because yeah, he's having a better condition than Andrew Jack. He have better in condition than Nathan and than Andrew. So his chances is good, John. I would do it just one time. And what's wrong with that? I mean,
Yeah.
Bumstead would be like, it would be remembered forever for beating everyone and winning Mr. Olympia, the official Mr. Olympia. I think it would be
Yeah.
awesome.
I don't think he's going to do it.
He's not going to do it, I don't think. You think he will?
No. No, I don't think he will do it.
Can you
I think he
imagine
feels like
how much better
he
for
would
his
have to take
legacy
more
to be
stuff.
No, no, Jean,
Yeah.
please. Don't tell me that again. You don't need to take more stuff. Why everybody keeps
Well,
thinking he has to take a
he
lot of
probably
stuff to
feels he needs.
be no, he doesn't need to take a lot of stuff. Come on. He does not because already big. And I mean, Bumstead's competing at over 260. What's wrong with you? With Bumstead at 260, that's
Yeah,
at least 30 pounds more than what Arnold was. Maybe Chris Bumstead an inch taller than Arnold, or what, about the same height? Is Chris 6'2" or
Samson's like
6'1"?
300.
Yeah,
Samson's
but I don't
300.
care about John, just remember what I told you earlier. Samson is 300 pounds, but he's not 24K. Chris Bumstead is
Right.
260, but he's 24K. This is
Yeah,
what I'm
that's true.
talking about. So
I'd like to see it. I wish he would do it. I'd like
if
to see it.
if Bumstead will load up and fill up and do what Samson is doing, he'd probably be close to 300 pounds. but that doesn't mean it's going to be better. This is why I would say Bumstead come in like Frank Zane, etched to the bone, which that's what he's doing. Go up there with good presentation. Let's see what he does. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he's the most popular bodybuilder on the planet right now. Bumstead is. He's the most popular. He's more popular than Mr. Olympia now, right? So
no doubt.
It probably is in his best, if it will be in his best interest to show the world one time. And you said to me, you need to take more stuff. I would say, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Not if him and Hardy do the proper calculation and take the necessary precaution toward health. I think it's doable.
Okay.
That's me. So I don't know. Yeah,
I'd love to see it, but yeah.
I think he won't do it, but I would love for him to do it. So anyway, that's me. I have that.
You got one more question?
Let's do it.
All right. I thought we had one more question.
What's that last question?
All right. Says John, you were Mr. Natural Olympia. Did you take anything not natural before you started competing naturally to win that show? Meaning you took something 5 years ago and then stopped and just did it naturally after and won the Natural Olympia. Okay. Yeah, I get this question a lot. People think that I was taking stuff for the natural shows and then I just cleaned out before the contest to pass the test, I guess. No, when I was natural, I was natural. So I didn't take anything in the off season. I didn't take anything pre-contest. I was just taking protein powder and creatine. That was it. I was 100% natural all the time. I didn't take something just to win a natural contest. If I was going to take something, I would have gone in a non-tested show. Why would I go in a tested show I mean, they do drug testing at these shows. The organization I competed in, they tested me every time. They did a urine test. And in that organization, if you fail, they have a website and they have a page called the Wall of Shame. And anybody who fails a test, they put them on that page. And they put their picture, they put their name, and they put what drug they failed for. So I wasn't going to risk that. I don't know anything about steroids and drugs, so I wasn't going to take anything and try and pass it. Forget it. I would just, if I was going to take steroids, I would just go into a show that wasn't tested. I wouldn't go into a show that was tested. That's crazy.
John, you should have consulted with me. I would have shown you a trick and how to do it and pass the test. Like the Egyptian guy who took a balloon. He took the balloon and a straw, and he took his mom's urine. And he squeezes the balloon, and while he was doing it, the balloon ruptured.
Like a catheter? Like a catheter?
This is that. Yeah, that happened. It's a really true story. The guy had a balloon, and he was like squeezing it slowly to get the urine out, and the balloon ruptures. And then all of a sudden,
I know who that was.
You heard
wasn't
about
that El Shahab? El Shahab Mabruk, right? Wasn't that? Yeah.
I remember that. My ass off. John, I laughed so hard when I said. But John, there are ways to clean up. Okay? There are ways to clean up. I know how to clean up and be natural.
Yeah.
Okay? There is a way. We're not talking about it.
If you had a choice, Samir, between doing a tested show and I'm not talking like when you guys were going in the Mr. Olympia that one year in 1990 when it was tested. I know a lot of guys were trying just to beat the test. But if you were just a regular competitor and you were going to go into a natural show or a non-tested, you just do a non-tested show, right? Why would you bother with doing drugs and then trying to beat a show or trying to beat the drug test? That's stupid.
It is. And then we tried, you know what I'm saying? Everybody starts going, I take the short acting and then I drop it out 1 week out. And, oxandrolone. The half-life of oxandrolone is 11 days. So you stop at 11 days before the show. I mean, it's cheating. Everybody, there are ways,
Yeah.
John. There is a way to clean up, to do the test and be clean. And you'll be dirty as hell, but
Yeah.
you show you're clean. So I have learned tell you some story. I'm not going to talk about those crazy stories, how to clean up the urine test easily. You'll
Yeah.
pass. But
Yeah. That
anyway, that's
organization I
awesome.
did, the INBA, they did urine testing from WADA, which was the World Anti-Drug Association, I think. So their tests were pretty legit. So I wasn't going to beat that.
Well, I know you didn't make the wall of shame, so that's good.
Right. Yeah. Thank God for that.
Yeah.
I didn't have to worry about it because I wasn't taking anything, so I was good.
Yeah, we used to tell Pete
Unless I could have
Grimkowski.
failed for.
Hey, we used to ask Pete Grimkowski. He said, like, "Oh, please, what do you?" I said, "I'm clean. I'm clean. I just took a shower this morning." So he's clean. He took a shower before he came to the gym. So, but man, the thing is, bodybuilding can be done safely. Unfortunately, some of those coaches, John, are not sane, and they are running their mouth and
Yeah.
taking client, and then they're hurting them. These people really should be punished because you don't play with your client health and well-being, and this is being done. You need to go to a coach who is proven. That's why when you work with a guy like Hani, you know that your health is going to be preserved. You're going to be fine. When you work with
Yeah.
Joe Blow, you know what I mean? I mean, this is something that really we need to talk about in future podcasts about the health and well-being and what certain things should be avoided. We will talk about it later. We please to everyone out there, if you have any question, any specific question. I mean, I know Jean and I were not doctors, but we will tell you the truth about what's happening, and we will guide you and make sure you're doing things a healthy way because it's important to us. We want you to
It's
stay
kind of
old school.
it's kind of sad though, Samir. When I get questions like that, it's kind of sad because it's like I know there's a lot of people out there that don't think you can build a good physique without drugs. So they automatically assume, even if I won natural contests, they automatically assume that I was still taking something for the natural contest, So it's kind of sad, especially I bet a lot of these kids out there, they just don't think right now, I guess with everybody taking steroids, they don't believe that you can do it naturally, and that's pretty sad. I mean, when I won the Natural Mr. Universe, I was 29 and I weighed 198. Then when I won the Natural the Natural Olympia, which was in 1998, so that was 6 years later, I was 204. So I was 6 pounds heavier between those contests. And the way I got 6 pounds heavier was I was training really hard. I was eating a lot of food in the off season. I was bulking up. I remember one year I went from 204. I was in a contest. I weighed 204 in 1995. And the next year I weighed 208. So I went up to 243 that off season, and I was training heavy and hard all year. I was eating like 600, 700 grams of carbs in the off season. I mean, I was like busting my ass for 4 pounds of muscle, But that's what it took. It wasn't taking steroids. It was eating all that food all year. It was eating all those calories, all those carbohydrates. It was doing all I remember we were doing 10 sets of squats, me and my training partner, Mel. We were doing 10 sets of squats. And at one point, we were doing 10 sets with 405 for 6 reps. 10 sets of squats. I mean, that's how hard we were training, So they don't think about the hard training. They don't think about all the eating. They don't think about all the dedication. They think it's just steroids. So that's kind of sad when people think that.
Well, Jean, just look at you right now. You don't look like you abuse your body. Thank God. Knock on wood. You look healthy. The problem what kids don't know out there, I was in the UK, they were talking about an American trainer, and here they were talking about certain coaches. they have no clue that most of these coaches, they are on dialysis themselves. Some of those coaches, they don't know the proper way to do it. And I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I know at least 5 of the coaches on dialysis, John. And I swear to God, I don't want to name them. But I want the kids to understand you need to be careful because some of those coaches are very smart, they talk you into things. Do your research. Make sure you do it the right way. Stay healthy. You don't need to take a lot of crap. We're not saying don't take anything, but be careful who you deal with. There is a right way and there's a healthy way and there's a very deadly way. So be careful. I guess we'll stop it at that, right, John?
All right, yeah. So if you got any more questions for us, guys, we'll have some more questions and then we'll answer them next week.
Absolutely. Anything, feel free to ask. And keep it old school. And health as well. So remember, health
Samir.
is wealth. Stay healthy.
All right.
Good chatting with you, John.
I'll see you next week. All right. You too.
Have a good